Hello, YouTube wood turning community. Welcome once again to another episode of The Naked Turner. I was just recently gifted this piece of wood, which I have never turned anything like this before. It is called Huon Pine, which is Huon Pine, and I think it's pronounced Huon Pine. It is not in the pine family, apparently. I haven't done a lot of research about it, but it was sent to me by Les from Australia, another piece that he sent me, which all I can say is there are some very kind people out there in the world. Les, you're one of them, and I'm going to give this a go. It looks to be something that's going to turn real easily. First thing I do when I am about to turn something is I look at it, I think about what I want to make, I look for any weaknesses, which there are a couple of little splits in here, which it looks like Les has taken the time before he shipped it to me to stabilize some of these cracks with some what appears to be some epoxy. So what I'm going to do is I've surfaced this side off and then done a small surfacing right around here for my scrolling jaw chuck to grab onto. And this portion here I'm going to grab, and because I have some cracks that I can see right in this area here, I'm going to turn some of that away with a soft curve, which means this is going to be the bottom of my vessel. So I've identified the bottom where I'll be able to turn hopefully a little more of those cracks away, and identified the more stable area, which appears to be up here, and that will become the top of my vessel. And I think what I'm going to do is create a small bowl out of this that I will then potentially, depending on what it looks like, make a lid for eventually as well with a small finial or something like that. I may even just do a canister with a small finial if I can get enough of this wood to behave. So, without further ado, let's get to turning. One last thing, as always, safety is of the utmost. That's all I gotta say. Just wear your protective gear and don't do anything that you feel is potentially risking yourself for injury. It's just not worth it. Everything's locked off. I'm turning this piece because it's fairly small. It's only probably about 3 3/4 of an inch across diameter of this. So I'm turning this up around 2300 RPM. It turns extremely easily. It feels almost like a boxwood or a basswood or something like that. And I can now see some of these little hairline splits and things. So I'm going to turn some of that down, creating a little bit of a curve down here. Okay, so I've created a little bit of a curve there. Now I'm going to square this surface off. Okay, so because this was sent to me, and this center is not necessarily the center that is now created, this was just a, looks like was drilled by a Forstner bit, I'm going to get rid of that and create a new center and a new spot to grab this piece from. Just doing a push cut, rubbing the bevel. Okay. these splits in this piece here. There's a pretty good one right here, and then another couple running all the way through this. So we'll see if I can turn this into anything. I'm going to have to get rid of a little more of the diameter on this. Sounds like I'm almost down to the bottom of this one splinter here. Yeah. Shoot. I'm going to have to go even smaller. Okay, so I think what I'm going to try to do is stabilize these splits with some thin CA glue. But I am going to go a little bit more here. Okay. Yeah, they're pretty good. It looks like they're pretty deep and endemic in this piece, it looks like. I don't know that I'll be able to get much out of this. So let me try my best though. So because a lot of these little cracks are in here and they're real fine, but the wood is so sort of soft feeling that I'm concerned that epoxy wouldn't quite get down in there. So I'm going to use some thin CA, and I'm going to coat, and I'm going to probably end up doing a couple applications like this. And once again, when you're using CA, make sure you have good ventilation. As a matter of fact, I have my whole garage door open, and there's a really strong breeze blowing, and I'm turning my fan on, and then I make sure I stay out of the way when it's kicking off and putting off the cyanide gases. And I can see it bubbling down into those cracks, so I know it's going down in there. Anyway, see those bubbles coming up? I don't know if you can see that because I'm not zoomed in super tight, but alright, another bubble. A little bit more. Alright. There we go. And I see a little bit of it trying to get down to this edge here. So I'm going to get rid of that. I don't want it going down too much onto my chuck jaws. Everywhere else it looks fine. Alright, now I'm just going to move some of what is sitting on top around a little bit. Okay, and it's starting to kick off, it looks like. Alright, so I'm going to do a little bit of that. Then I'll put it back on and do some turning and check back in with you. Alright, I've got it chucked back up here. And unlocking my spindle. Safety gear. That feels better, and it looks like those splits are pretty well sealed up. It does make me a little nervous doing a mortise on that, so I may just decide now that I'm going to do a small spigot or tenon on the bottom here and decrease this even more, and we'll see if I'm even able to do a lidded vessel. Alright, okay, coming in with the freshly sharpened up parting tool. Create a small spigot there. Now I just need to put a slight bevel or dovetail on that piece. Bring my tool rest up just a hair. Switching over to my skew chisel for this. And I'm going to use it like a negative rate scraper. A little bit more than that. Okay, I think that's got it pretty nice. Alright, now I just need to shape the bottom a little bit more. And I'm going to be having to part this off, so alright, I think that looks pretty nice right there. Now, I'm just going to cut across here. That was pretty good. Bring my tool rest up though, and in, like so. Okay, that looks pretty good. Nice and smooth. Now, all I need to do is get rid of some of this excess stuff here. I think that pretty much got this where I need to go with it. A little bit of sanding with some 320 and I'll be there. So, just going to do turn down my speed a little. And I'm starting right out with 320 because this is so smooth already that it feels really really nice. Alright, so I'm going to try to put a little belly in here, and I'm spinning up around 17. I can come up even a little, just right around 2,000 RPM. Okay, rubbing my bevel, initiating a slight curve, and then coming back out of that curve. Now coming in from this side. And that's almost it. There we go. Okay, I think almost like that. I could go a little bit deeper. There we go. Yes, I like that. Okay, now back to a little bit of the 320 sanding. Full rest. Putting on some sanding sealer, and this wood is just extremely sort of blonde and light feeling, and really nice to work with. Sands real easily. So this Huon Pine is really nice. And thank you again, Les, for sending this to me. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of wet sanding. And let's see, I've got some 320 grit wet sandpaper. I wish I had maybe some like 600 grit right now, because this stuff is so soft. But let me get some oil, and we'll do a little bit of Howard's. I like to use this Howard's Butcher Block oil, just because it does a couple different things, and it's just something that I have around here too. A little wet sanding. Okay, so I have this flipped around, and I have the spigot grabbed by my scrolling jaw chucks, starting out with my 1/2 inch bowl gouge, increasing the speed up here to about 1600 RPM. Safety gear on. First thing I'm going to do is surface this. As you can see, this stuff turns really nicely. I'm thinking I might leave this wide, extra wide rim on here. I just have to turn a little bit of it away. I don't want it to be quite that wide, so. And it has some jaw marks from where my scrolling jaws were. Take one. Cuts on it like that. Put take a look at it. And that looks real nice. Just need to clean it up a little bit. Feeling that's nice. It's a nice little shape. Alright, now I'm going to try to start following that. I'm kind of liking this little shape I'm getting here. So I'm going to bring my tool rest up and start some of the hollowing with this 1/2 inch by 3/16 scraper. Alright. Yeah, I think I might just do this. Leave this little edge here. Just make a small hollow form. Nothing too big or nothing too fancy, but it's kind of just calling out for this little shape here. Alright. And switching over. First I'm going to sharpen up my scrapers here. Okay, I'm going to be getting in here again with my 1/2 inch round nose scraper, 1/2 inch by 3/16 round nose scraper. Nicely sharpened up, lights on. And make sure these aren't in your way. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Alright, following out. Hopefully you can see some of this. Okay. And now, like this. I don't know if you can see this. It's going to be hard for me to shoot this in my space, but just finished up scraping this inside down. Everything feels really good. I got one last little spot right in here. Okay. Alright, there we go. The rest of it, it's all about sanding at this point. So I'm real happy with that. I got to put some CA glue down in the bottom to stabilize it, and then I'm going to put it back on and do some sanding, and I'll show you the final product. I'm putting on some friction rub, or actually, sorry, first I'm putting on some sanding sealer, which is just a shellac based sanding sealer with shellac and denatured alcohol, and just coating everything with that. I have it sanded down to 320, and it's looking really, really nice. So now I'm just getting a coating of sanding sealer on everything. Okay, so I'm going to let that sanding sealer dry up a little bit, and then I'm going to come back with some 320, just because I don't have any 400 or 420 or 600 or anything like that. So I was just applying finish, and now I'm going to apply a little bit more on the outside here. Okay, so I was having some problems with my batteries, but I have this piece flipped around and it's padded on my spigot jaws, and then I am expanded out into the recess in the hollow of this vessel. And thank you very much for watching. This project was a lot of fun to make. If you enjoy it, please like and share and comment. And if you're a subscriber, thank you very much for continuing to support my channel. If you're not a subscriber, please take the time to subscribe. I'm posting new content just about every week. Thanks again for watching another episode of The Naked Turner.